Keith, I've got to start with one of the most bizarre passages of playing football that I've ever seen him at the end of that game. Can you describe what your feelings are on that last minute or so?
Well, the players have done the jobs. We all expect the officials to do their jobs, and they haven't done them. You know, it's clear as day that there's 2 players offside, and for whatever reason they haven't give offside, even though the linesman, you know, was suggesting there was 2 players offside, but there was a suggestion that it came off our player. Those players were offside when the first ball came into the box. So our players have done the jobs. There's no more they can do. It's not our fault today that we've lost that game. It's not my fault, it's not the players' fault, it's not the sport's fault, it's not the chief exec's fault, it's not the director's fault. We can only do what we've done today and expect to be supported by good officials and officials who do the job appropriately. You know, and unfortunately it's happening far too many times that we are falling foul of, you know, bad decisions from officials. And he's a very experienced official, the referee, but not only do they get that wrong, they're playing 1 minute 20 seconds. The 4th official indicates and tells the referee who's in the field of play that he's already played a minute overtime before the goal's even played. So where he gets the extra minute 20 from, I've absolutely no idea, you know, and it's just unfortunate that the decisions of the referee today have hindered our progress in a really, really tight league. And it was a superb second half performance from the players. But I expect more from that referee. I really do. I think he should be disappointed if he assesses his own performance today, but also the linesmen, as I call them. You know, it's a bad day at the office again from the officials, and you know, I seem to be knocking the officials. Well, the standard of officialism so far is below what I expect.
Your side bounced back from going behind and responded very, very well in that second half. I don't know what you said to them at half time, but it certainly worked.
We just had to speed the game up. You know, arguably I think that first half was, the ball was in play for the least amount of time of any one of our games, and I think that was down to the opposition slowing the game down. Obviously free kicks, time wasting, whatever you want to call it, but they're footballing tactics and we have to deal with them better than we did in the first half. And I thought there was excellent second half in the way we dealt with the opposition trying to suppress the game. They went 1-0 up. Arguably you could say that nobody deserved to be in the lead in the first half, but we knew that they'd support their lead with probably even more negative tactics, but we had to refrain from being a victim of their tactics, and that's what we did well in the second half. And I was really, really pleased with the momentum, the goal scoring opportunities, and we did enough, more than enough, to win the game. But like I said, I can't legislate, you know, for what happens at the end of the game with the referees and the decisions that they've made. And you know, I've got a really good record myself as a manager, never ever being in front of the FA, never being punished with a touchline ban. But I don't know whether I'm doing the right thing by being politically correct, because we seem to get all the wrong decisions, and it's just not it's not fair on the football club.
Your game plan was thrown in a little bit of disarray after about 30 seconds of the game with Conrad Logan. Is there any word on him?
Yeah, it's a serious injury. We'll have to confirm the injury, but we'll have to liaise with Leicester as well. But you know, I don't want to say too much without it being confirmed. But there's a suggestion it's a pretty serious injury.
The big man doesn't go down very easily, and as soon as he went down, you sort of knew it looked like it could have been a bad one.
Yeah, it's a disappointment because he's been excellent for us, and you know, we do wish him well in his recovery. It's just unfortunate because there was a stability. Having said that, you know, at the beginning of the season, Josh Lewis was our number one, and we'll support Josh in regaining his first team place, which is probably what he's done today.
I'm going to say he didn't do anything wrong when he were out there, and he sort of got up to speed very, very quick, didn't he?
Well, that's due to Stevie Collis, but we'll see where we're obviously with the games that we've got coming up. We've got Johnny Deeber as well as Stevie Collis, who can deputise as well. But Josh more than deserves his opportunity. But it's a shame that it's at the expense of Conrad Logan's injury, because Conrad's been absolutely magnificent for us.
And now coming into the busy festive period, you've got a lot of games coming up in a short space of time.
Well, that's not a problem, because I've got a very good squad of players. I've got a healthy squad of players. Everybody's fit. I've chose to rest players, and I can do that over the festive period as well. But all the lads, they seriously want to do really well, and today we've had an opportunity taken away from us, because we could have gone fifth today, and that was the belief before the game. But we've managed I suppose, before the game you would have accepted a decent 2 each, but we should have been taking all 3 points over. And I don't think anyone could argue. I often look at managers' notes after matches where we've won, and the managers would suggest that they've had a bad day at the office. We've had a great day at the office today, and Notts County have got away with it.
How do you pick up the players, Keith, after, it almost feels like we've been beaten now, after that?
Well, it doesn't, we haven't been beaten, and the players recover and respond superbly, because I do and my staff do, and there's no lingering debris, if you like, going into next week with respect to what has been a standout performance second half, and we'd fully deserved all 3 points. But I wouldn't say that we've been robbed, but I think the referees have mismanaged the game today. And again, they can walk out of the front door, nothing will be said too much of it, and there's no responsibility to the Referees Association with respect to the referee and the officials making the mistakes.
What sort of policy is there for you to speak to the Referees Association after a game like that, Keith? Not to get in trouble and say something to the media, but
there isn't one.
Speak to someone.
There actually isn't one. I don't know. I suppose it's a bit like the Masons, the Referees Association. Hey, I'm not laughing here. It is. They must have police involved with the, with the Referees Association and politicians, because they're so protected. And whatever I say, I could possibly get fined. Now, I'm not a rich man, so I have to keep my mouth shut. With respect to what I really want to say, and I wouldn't want to bring any type of shame on the football club. But the referees have got to be as responsible as me as a manager in officiating the right way, and they haven't done that today.
Is it any coincidence that I think the majority of the poor refereeing performances we've seen have been here at Spotland?
I'm not too sure. I've not looked too deep into that, but we have got a catalogue of incidents that have gone against us. Not just gone against them, they've been incorrect decisions or failure to make the right decisions from the referees or the linesmen. And is that a suggestion that the standard of refereeing is not as professional as it should be? The Premier League, the Football Association and the Football League should make it mandatory that all referees are full-time and officials, because then they will be responsible. Somebody has to, come out of the Masons-like mentality and actually, sort the Referees Association or the referees' standard performances out. Because if they don't, they're going to end up embarrassed. And they should be embarrassed now, but they keep hiding in the wool or the fabric of the wool, and it's not quite right for me.
Do you speak with other managers about this? I mean, are they? I
think managers do feel as though they're banging their head against a brick wall. The LMA we've had meetings with respect to the standard of refereing, but majority of the time nothing ever really gets done substantially to improve standards, and it's a shame really, because I try and get to know the Referees Association. I often attend meetings, workshops with referees as a manager, and players do as well, but we're not seeing the standard of refereeing that we expect to make sure that there's the right conclusion to a game, and nothing's ever done about it. I don't know whether legally we could start suggesting that we take legal action against the Referees Association or the referees individually, because it's costing us finances as well, and it just seems a shame that as part of my debrief after matches, I seem to be mentioning referees or assistant referees quite a lot. No worries.
Cheers, Keith.